In this video I'm going to show you how to do a loop start and cross stitch. So I have one strand of embroidery floss and I am going to fold it in half by holding the ends together. I'm going to thread the needle at the end as so. And what this does is it gives me a loop on the end, which is essential for the loop start. But what it's also doing is doubling the number of strands of thread that I will be using when stitching. So the one strand has become two for stitching. So this technique only works for even numbers of threads. So there's two ways in which you can do this. You can have your loop on the back or on the front. So I'll start by showing you the back. So you come up through the bottom hole of your stitch and you leave the loop on the back as so. So then you go back down to complete the first half stitch and then you turn over again and make sure that your needle goes through the loop. And this then secures your stitches. And then all you need to do is continue to stitch as normal. And your thread is now nicely secure. Okay, so we'll finish these two stitches. And we will finish the thread by running under the two stitches that we have just created, using our embroidery scissors to snip off the tail. I now have another single strand of embroidery thread, which I am going to fold in half and then thread onto my needle. So this method has the loop at the front of the design. So instead of coming up through the fabric, you go down through the top hole of the stitch, as so, and you leave your loop on the top of the fabric. You then come back up through the opposite corner on the bottom, and then this time you go through the loop on the top of the fabric, and this has then secured it. So you go back down through the stitch, and sometimes you need to give the thread a tiny little tug to pull the loop through to the back of the design, and then you simply continue to stitch as normal. Both methods work in exactly the same way, both are equally secure, it's just a personal preference. I find the loop on the front method the most efficient for me when I'm stitching using a frame, because it stops me from having to keep turning it over. Thanks for watching.